Hello, it is the July 3rd edition of the Daily Vlog. There will not be one tomorrow because I will be busy doing family stuff for the Independence Day festivities, and it's also my nephew's birthday, so that day is pretty much spoken for. So I started, I ended the week last week feeling not all that great, and then had a migraine last night, so today I've got that migraine hangover feeling. And my studio is being in the middle of being packed up and cleaned out and stuff, and I've carried more floppy disks to the trash than I care to admit, and CDs and power cords for computers that I don't even know that I have anymore. So, all those things I was saving just in case I needed them. I didn't need them. So that's kind of where I am right now, and I'm going to do a video probably in the next several days. Somebody asked in the comments about doing some samples of different images at different times as because I talked about where I was growing up and as a teenager and then buckling down, and so I'm gonna try to put together some pieces that I was looking through an old hard drive today, and there's some really bad stuff on there. So I'm gonna put together some stuff just showing how sticking with it and lots of practice will really help. Hey, if I can get better, then I think anybody can get better. But anyway, but it also made me think when you're, I've just hitting 40, 41. I've realized looking back how when you're 20, who you are in your 20s is kind of the culmination of your teenage years, and who you are in your 30s is kind of where you spent your time and effort and energy in your 20s, and you hit 40 and you start thinking about this stuff. So now in my 40s, I realize that a lot of and this applies to art and just who you are as a person. You Who you are is basically you're reaping the benefits or the disadvantages of how you spent your time. So I remember one of the worst pieces of advice that I got from somebody that I didn't listen to in college. It was this sociology major that I ran into in the hall who, for some reason, wanted to be friends with me in college, and I have no idea why. I didn't know this person. It was like, I don't know. But he I was engaged to my wife at the time, and he tried to convince me not to get married because he had statistical data that proves if you get married in that age you'll get divorced. We're still married, so fail on his prediction then. Also, he said, your 20s are just supposed to be meaningless. You're supposed to wonder. Yeah, and I think a lot of people do that now. They think it's for a time for finding yourself, or there's not really a you get out, you don't really have a plan. If you're a guy, or I mean, it's a lot of girls too. You can just play video games and kind of meander, and that is a horrible. Your 20s are a horrible time to waste. And I had to do a lot of catching up just in terms of work ethic, and that's when I buckled down and decided to start learning art and stuff. But I could have put my 20s to better use, and the thing is, things seem a lot more permanent. I had a really bad job when I was in my 20s, and it felt like I would be there forever. And I look back now, I was like, I wasn't there that long. But the 20s are the perfect time because you have the energy and you have the focus to really apply yourself. And probably not kids at that time, though you may. But you need to think. I think if you're about to go into your 20s or in your 20s, don't waste them. But even in your 30s, and I'm in my 40s and thinking about this now that I'm getting a little bit older, that my art in my 50s is going to reflect what I am looking at and studying and doing now. Just like I can see now where I am is a reflection of the things that I looked at and did and worked at in my influences in my 30s. And that applies like intellectually and everything. Whatever you're reading, whatever wherever you are, you need to think with, your 10-year. I said before that your 10-year plan should be to keep growing and stuff. Also, a 10-year plan is, the things that you are reading and doing now, you're putting, those are coins you're putting into the bank that you're going to crack open in 10 years, and that's what you're going to have to work with for the next decade of your life. So it's just one thing to keep in mind, and just one aspect of life that I'm learning a bit, and it applies pretty much to every aspect of life, even exercise. And you have bad habits now for 10 years, you'll pay for it in 10 years. So it's better to do a little bit here and there to you know get better. The other thing too is I found I've it's really easy to, if you're spending a lot of time on social media, you're constantly checking the news, or you're checking politics, or you're checking whatever entertainment, mindless stuff, and looking at that stuff is, I mean, it's important to know what's going on, but being able to differentiate the things that actually affect you in the moment, that you can actually change, and the things that are just going to make you vent, that aren't really going to change anything, but are going to take away time from the things that do matter and just make you feel better. So I've backed off a lot just reading. I'm trying to only check the news every couple days or maybe once a week, because you know my powers of changing the world are extremely limited, as are yours, whether you like to hear that or not. But being consumed with all that stuff is going to limit how well you live your life where you are and the people you do influence. Not to say don't look at the don't be informed and don't do things like in your community or whatever, but you need to balance how much that time and energy you're spending there, not spending on things that actually matter, whether it's your family or art or your career or things like that. So I backed off a little bit, just spending time, even just listening to stuff. I've been working to just the noise of the fan, and I find myself thinking more about the stories, like William the Last and things, and getting some more ideas and stuff. And it kind of energizes me rather than drains me, because I find the more I mindlessly have read in times past on the internet, the more it drains me. It doesn't give much back. So I try to be a little more strategic about what I consume. So anyway, it's a couple tips, just some meandering thoughts for this July 3rd weekend. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It is right, the little thing icon is right there. And like and share, and check out some of my drawing videos. There won't be a warm-up video for July 4th because I'll be busy with my family. But check out William the Last at williamthelast.com. But hey, don't go directly from this video to that. Click on something like the YouTube homepage and then go there, because if you leave my page, that is a negative on my YouTube account. So that's the algorithm. You don't want your channel to be the leap off to another website. So if you have a channel, keep that in mind. And that's your tip. Unless the algorithms change, which it may have. So anyway, I'm out, and I'll see y'all day after tomorrow.